Hello, hello, hello. I'm Josetta Yvonne, your book bae, coming on for a quick book chat today. I hope this video finds you well. So first off, Happy New Year. This is my first video of this year. I tried recording actually before now, but I deleted those videos because they were not any good. Had a lot of background noise in them, so I decided not to post those. So I wanted to come on and do a new one. So I just wrapped up my first book of the new year about a week ago, I believe, and I read part 2 of K.C. Mills' You Can Do Damage Too. Let me show it to you. Now, this read was an e-read for me. It was actually my first e-read because I got a Kindle for Christmas, a little small one just to test the waters. And for the first 3 months, they let you have Kindle Unlimited for free. So I decided to read this book on there because I figure, you know, it's a love story. Normally, I only really want hard copies of things that I want to reread over and over again, especially things that relate to history or memoirs. So I think in order to also help with me decluttering and not continuing to add, this would be a great way to vet the books I really want on my shelf. Of the physical copies. So if something's really spectacular, then I'll still go ahead and buy the hard copy. But if not, I probably will not, depending on what's going on. Plus, I noticed on this Kindle Unlimited, it doesn't include all books. So there's been quite a few books that I wanted to download that I'm not able to because they're not included. There would be another fee on top of it, like $13 or 15, which to me, when it starts getting to be that much, I may as well just buy the book or go to the library or something else. But anyway, back to the book that I read for this year, my first book I read. I really enjoyed it, but I enjoyed part 1 more. This is a continuation of Kindred. I don't think about Kindred. That's the bookstore. Kincaid and Nari's love story. If you read the first book, then you know they got together under some certain circumstances. For those that didn't read it, I don't want to spoil that part for you. And so part 2 just kind of follows the continuation of what happened in part 1. And in part 2, she is pregnant. And so they're kind of following what happens next. So I've already said that. Anyway, so these are some things that came to mind for me as I was reading the book. That way I won't give too much detail if I just go off the cuff. So, possessiveness, addicted to each other. We all know what it feels like when we first get with someone, especially when we're like young and they're in their like 20s, and we've never really been, our hearts really haven't been broken before. So I'll even say our teens. It's that kind of addictive love where they just can't get enough of each other. Found family. I think it was a great reminder in this book of just because someone is related to you by blood does not mean they are always looking out for you. Sometimes they have the worst intentions for you. It was a reminder to invest in the things that invest in you. Another thing that came to mind in this book was don't romanticize parental relationships or any relationships for that matter. Age doesn't equate to maturity. never envy what other people have, because you don't know what they have to go through to keep it that way. I loved in the book how Kincaid took care of Nari, even though he was very possessive of her, because she had a very rough start in life, and he wanted to make sure that she had a happy ending. I loved that in the book that their intimacy was more than surface. It was deep and had layers to it. One thing that comes to mind is that when they walk into the room, they just feel each other. They know what mood based off of just the energy that each other is putting out. And that's not always the case with people when they're together. Some people are not tapped in with one another. So I think that may be kind of a gift. I think people call it clairvoyance. I think that's something that some people naturally have, that are naturally tapped in to what others, because even people I'm not in personal relationship with necessarily, I can still tell I can feel people's energy based just off of, I don't know, it must be something that's internal, because I can't really put words to it. But even co-workers, sometimes you just know, so you stay out the way. Let me see what else. Oh, and the last part, I said, I took notes, guys, for myself. I think I would like a part 3 to see if the love lasts, or will Nari begin to resent Kincaid for how he loves her. Because I'll never forget, and I've experienced it in real life, sometimes the very things that make us fall in love with people is the very things that make us start to dislike people. For example, I can remember someone telling me before, like, I always held them accountable. I held their feet to the fire. I don't think I'm spicy, but I guess, sometimes I may be a little spicy or whatever. And I can remember, like, later on, the very thing someone loved about me was the very thing they hated about me at the end. Like, you talk too much. You're in my business. You're holding me accountable. And everyone doesn't like. That's not endearing to everyone. And even think about it for yourself. What are those things where you loved about a person at first, but by the end, when it was getting ready to be over, you couldn't stand? But anyway, I thought the book was really good. I thought it was good. I won't say really good. It was good, but part 1 was better. There's a lot of love making. So if you don't mind that part, then you'll be good. But as we all know, that will only get you so far. You can make love all you want to, and be intimate in that way, but sometimes the physical just is not enough. When we were kids, maybe. As grown-ass people, no, it's never enough. But anyway, I think if you just want a read to pick up, to be a palate cleanser, with a little drama, some love, a happy ending, then this may be the book for you to pick up. But if you're not interested in the underworld of I guess the life of someone that's kind of towing the line in a world of drugs and in the world of his real businesses, then you may not be interested in a story like this. Some people may even call it a ghetto love story. I don't know. I wouldn't say ghetto. Because I would think of this kind of like the movie Goodfellas. You know? Even Godfather. It's just the black version, we'll say. But I really enjoyed the book. I would definitely recommend it. But I think number 1 was Magnifique. I think number 2 is good. Number 3 come out, I would read one. I would read a number 3. If she did a number 3, I would read it. She hasn't said she's gonna do a continuation or anything. But if a number 3 came out, if it was You Can Do Damage Part 3 or 2 with 3 O's, I would read it. Only because I would like to see what happens next once the kids come, once they've gotten settled, once they're once they continue to expand their family. I want to see what comes next. And even what I loved in this book is, because he in part 1, her mom was introduced, and I loved in part 2 how their relationship was developing. I loved how her mom was loving her in a way to where she felt safe and seen, and she wanted to be a part. I think those are things that, if people are open, it's never too late for reconciliation, depending on what people did. But I thought that was beautiful how Kincaid supported her in that way, and how her mom was really open to the idea, and how she loved her as an adult child. But anyway, I would recommend it. Pick it up. I'm on to my next read, and hopefully you are too. So have an amazing Sunday. I hope you're having a great MLK weekend, and talk soon. Wishing you nothing but inner peace, positivity, and empowerment. Take care. Bye-bye.